Alright, so in this problem, you're going to want to solve this as many different ways as possible. Obviously, you could just type this in a calculator, and you'd get 8 on the top, and on the bottom you would get negative 16, and so you'd know that would be negative 0.5 if you typed it in a calculator. So typing it in, type in calc, is one way. But that's going to become problematic once we start getting variables in here, so let's see if we can find a different way. Well, I guess, one possible way here is you compute the top, you compute the bottom, so the top would be still 8. The bottom would be 8 times negative 2. And so you could see that would be 8 over negative 16, which would still be negative 1/2. You could also see that that would be that the 8s would divide out. And 8 divided by 8 is 1, and 8 divided by 8 is 1. So I divide the top and bottom by 8, and so I end up with 1 over negative 1/2. Sorry, or 1 over negative 2, which is negative 1/2. So again, a couple ways there. Compute and then try to simplify by dividing. Now, just to be clear, what I was doing there, 8 times negative 2, is I was dividing the top and bottom by 8, or you could think of it like I was multiplying the top and bottom by 1/8. And if I do the same to the top and bottom, this fraction right here, what I'm multiplying by is 1. And so if I'm multiplying by 1, I'm not really changing its value. So I can do that. Another way to think of this is factoring first. So I'm going to factor out a 4 out of the top, which leaves me 5 minus 3 over 8 times 3 minus 5. Now you might not see any relationship there, except for you could do that and then compute the rest. But what many people might notice is that 5 minus 3 and 3 minus 5 are just opposites of each other. So if I factored out a negative 1, this would leave me with 3 minus 5. Because this would be positive 2, this would be negative 2, but with the negative multiplying it, it would change it back to positive. So I just factor out a negative 1 in addition to what I had factored out already. And so now this definitely simplifies. These divide out to 1 times 1, or 1 over 1. Negative 4 divides to 1, 2, because 4 goes into both, so I have negative 1/2. So you can see factoring is a method that you can use to solve these problems. And once we start getting into variables, this is going to become an important principle to know. So the big idea here, many ways to solve, including factor and simplify first, then compute.